For the second straight year, the Decorah boys basketball team is on to a sub-state final. They defeated Charles City in the district final last night. Decorah 62-52. Recapping that game a little bit with head coach John Carlson. And coach, key starts are key to any game, and they're even more key in the postseason. And I don't think your kids could have asked for a better start than what you had last night, correct?
No, thanks again. Appreciate all your coverage. And I know, it's one of those deals where obviously you never know playing a team a third time, how it's all going to shake out as far as what they're going to do to you differently defensively. But yeah, obviously anytime you can hit 7 threes in the first quarter, that's a good start. And kind of broke the ice a little bit in that game and allowed us to kind of not necessarily coast, because Charles City definitely brought it, but gave us some breathing room, if so to speak.
And I know throughout the course of the rest of the game after that first quarter, Charles City fought back, played you pretty well for those final 3 quarters. I know you probably had a few more turnovers than you wanted in the final 3 quarters last night. How much of that was stuff that you need to clean up? How much of that was stuff that Charles City was bringing to the table?
Probably a little bit of both. I think it was a situation where, we kind of got sloppy with the basketball. Trey got in foul trouble. And Joe will be the first one to admit too, he was definitely sloppy with the ball and needed to clean up his handle a little bit. Definitely one thing that he talked about in the locker room after the game. So some of it was a little Charles City. Some of it was us, I think, just being a little careless with the basketball, knowing that we had that lead. For some reason, we have a tendency to not want to twist the dagger, so to speak, when we're up by, double digits, 15, 20 points. We just kind of like to, play around a little bit instead of, executing some things. And but give Charles City credit. Some of that was due to them too. So we just got to be able to execute a few things better in those situations and lock in on the defensive end.
Does that allow you to maybe make the coaching point, make the emphasis going into Monday night that, hey, if we want to do what we want to do, we better bring it for 32 minutes?
Yeah. And I think that's one thing about our team, so far this postseason, the first 2 games, I mean, we played okay. We've hit some shots, but we haven't strung a full 32 minutes together. And obviously give Charles City and Cresco credit. They both, playing us the third time, obviously play their best games against us. So, it's a situation where new opponent now hopefully gives our guys a little bit more juice. I'll be honest with you. It was good to see that Clear Lake won that. No, obviously if you have to play Waverly, you play Waverly, but these 3-time deals are definitely a hard thing to do. And, anytime you have to prepare again for a team a third time that that you've beaten twice, it's a little bit difficult, but nonetheless, it's one of those things. You just got to clean up a few things in some areas, and hopefully we'll do that on Monday.
How different will your prep be, knowing the fact that you're facing a new opponent and you have to scout them and get used to them and maybe watch a little bit more film on them as compared to playing a Waverly Shellrock, who probably like the back of your hand, and vice versa?
Yeah, I think, it's kind of fun, to be honest with you, to have a new opponent. Obviously having played some conference teams, it is what it is. But I think, you just got to prepare like it's another game, and hopefully situation where we've gotten some film on Clear Lake and we kind of know what they did. We actually went down and watched them a couple weeks ago against Waverly. So we know their personnel, but obviously it's a situation where we're playing them the first time. They're going to have to feel us out. We're going to have to feel them out. And a situation where you like to think we have some advantages at certain areas, and they obviously have some advantage at certain areas for them too. So it's one of those that you just got to put your best foot forward and see what happens.
Having seen them once, having seen them on film, what impresses you the most about Clear Lake?
Well, they've been in this game now 4 times in the last 4 years. So obviously they're going to be experienced in that regard. But they've got a player, Carlson. He's a really good player. Averages over 20 points a game. He's probably one of the best players that we'll have seen all year. And they have a good program. Their record speaks for itself. Been in the state tournament last 4 years. I think 2 of those years. So they're definitely an experienced ball club, a team that's very well coached. They got some shooters on the outside. They got a nice freshman post inside. So they definitely have a lot of good pieces, and we're going to have to play our best game to come out on top.
Everyone knows what's on the line coming up Monday night. Do you talk about what's on the line coming up Monday night or is it just basically preparing to beat that specific opponent on that specific night?
I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously our guys know and they know the ramifications of it. A lot of them were in that ball game last year against Western Dubuque. So, we talk a little bit about it, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just business as usual. You try to keep a normal routine. You don't want to get too high or get too low. It's the biggest thing is just, doing our thing, getting in practice time here the next 3 days and be ready to go on Monday.
All right, Coach, congrats on getting to the sub-state final. Once again, hopefully we can talk about a trip to the state tournament next week. Best of luck to you Monday night in Waterloo against the Lions.
Hey, thanks, Darren. We appreciate it.
John Carlson previewing the sub-state game between Decorah and Clear Lake on Monday night at Waterloo East.